I think they run the world, but just like with any good project manager or any world runner,
Correct. That's right.
if you're doing all these things all the time simultaneously, whether it's getting the kids ready for school in the morning, getting ready for work, or thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner, starting off the day, you've got all those daily tasks that you focus on so much that sometimes knowing about maybe different single mom scholarship opportunities or knowing even how to go back to school, that's not a lot of times going to be the center, that's not going to be the central focus that you have. So this helps moms and they're able to come together with other moms who might be returning to school, and they can share each other's experiences and maybe have a study buddy if they end up at the same school, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
Education is very important. I mean, even as our older generation, to seek that type of employment, you need that college and higher education. So it's really, you don't have an age limit.
No.
I mean, you got to always, if you want to grow, you have to get that education.
I agree.
You have to get that information that you're providing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. I went back to school myself just recently and finished up my master's. So I'm really proud of that.
Congratulations.
And well, thank you. So, learning is lifelong. It's not something that stops just because you hit 18 or 35 or what have you. It's lifelong. So I think getting people to understand that as well, especially if it's been a lifelong goal or achievement. Education is a reward that nobody can really take that away from you. They can take away a number of things, your car, your house, anything like that. But once it's up here, it can't be taken, barring any illnesses. But that's something that nobody can take from you. Once you've got the knowledge and you've got the skill set for whatever it is that you're looking to do, nobody can take that from you. But even in terms of people being empowered and knowing, again, how to return to school if they're older, those are things sometimes that just are not common knowledge, which is, the reason that I exist.
Correct. And I feel most of all that going back to school, seeking that education is an investment on your life. Because it builds you up and it builds you to getting bigger and better things in life.
Absolutely.
And your service gives them that advantage of knowing exactly what to expect to getting to that path, because it's going to be a long path.
Right. I agree. I think at the end of the day, like you said, it's valuable and education is rewarding. And as I've said before, education, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, time and time again, is education is a game changer. Most people that I know that go to college, I could probably count on one hand the number of people that go just because they like learning. It's a means to an end. So if you recognize that it's a value, it's valuable, and it's going to train you to have some greater level of expertise so that you can be empowered for that career path or track that you're going to go on. And if you recognize that for what it is, then it puts you in a different frame of mind and a different perspective day one when you step foot in that classroom, as opposed to someone who may just go back and haphazardly say, well, I'm gonna figure out what I want to do when I get there. You don't want to do that, not these days, especially with the cost being what it is.
Okay, Jamila, you have a lot of events going on. What are some of your upcoming events? Because this is very important, because we need to know exactly how to get this information, this valuable information.
I'm glad you asked, and you know what? I have to get out a cheat sheet because off the top of my head, I couldn't remember the things that I have quite a few things coming up, so I'm really excited about that. Actually, I'm going to launch, the launch of my new blog is coming up next Tuesday. So that's something that we're really excited about. We have our fan page established now for Encouraging Words. Now, I mentioned we have a workshop coming up next Thursday,
July 17th.
the 17th, right, and that'll be from 6:30 p.m. till 8 p.m. In addition to that, we're planning and hosting a Teen Summit Back to School event on September 27th. Going to be, and I say we because it's myself and another individual. His name is Marlo Prelo, and he's the founder of Career Bounds, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on both a little bit of college planning, but more extensively on the career planning side as well. Because again, we approach things with what the end is in mind.
Correct.
So that's something else we're doing. We're doing a college tour on October 11th, and we'll be going to South Carolina State. We'll be doing another college tour in November, and then I've got about 6 dates with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library. So September 15th, we'll be at the Still Creek Library. September 22nd, the library on West Boulevard. September 29th, there's going to be another presentation on West Boulevard. October 14th, we'll be at the Hickory Grove Library. October 28th, I'll be at North County Library, and then on November 18th, I'll be doing a presentation at the South County Library, and those presentations are college planning workshops, some of them, and the other one is academic preparation workshops, which I stressed is something that I strongly believe a lot of people kind of fall short in and don't realize how important that is.
You're having a lot of seminars, and that's really important that we get out there and get this valuable information. You know, and you're bringing in a lot of expertise that we should take advantage of.
Well, thank you.
That passion that you have for helping individuals, where does it come from?
I think it comes from my experience of having been a college admissions advisor for the length of time that I've been or was in college admissions, and recognizing how many really intelligent, creative, talented, gifted people were going off to school without a clue, and seeing how much debt they were ending up in unnecessarily. So I would say those are the things that drive me, and just a sense of fulfillment and wanting to help and knowing that I can help. I was reading a statistic not too long ago, as a matter of fact. I think the student loan debt right now is sitting at over $1 trillion. You know, that's...
Yeah, I got some of it. I got some of it.
Right. You and a few other people. So, you know, that to me is unbelievable. Well, not even unbelievable, but it's unfortunate because, again, if you think of that level of debt and how it can hinder you from maybe having the quality of life, it basically can possibly hinder you from having the very life that you sought to have and that you went to school to try to, what's the word I'm looking for? You went to school maybe to excel to another level, but because of the level of debt you acquire based upon your college studies, sometimes that can be a hindrance from you getting to that next level and maybe being able to purchase a home, or even if you're able to purchase a home, what kind of home you're able to purchase, because you still got to make these student loans or pay, you know, this student debt back. You know, that to me is that level of debt is crippling. You know, and it's unfortunate, but so many times I attribute that to people just not knowing what they don't know, you know, and if you don't know what you don't know, you better go ask somebody.
Correct. If you were attending Encouraging Word, you were a student, what are some of the questions you would ask Jamila Freelain?
Okay, what would Jamila ask Jamila?
Correct. I mean, because this sometimes we get in these programs, we don't know exactly some of the most important questions to ask. And with your expertise, what would you ask yourself?
What would I ask myself? Putting myself in the shoes of maybe a high school student that's looking to go into college. I maybe would ask what the best schools are for my industry. I would also ask if there's if scholarships are really attainable. Is there really scholarship money out there? I would probably ask things like maybe how many students I've worked with. If I'm asking
correct.
Jamila, who I don't know, and I'm wondering how much expertise she has, that kind of thing. So,
I guess the reason why I asked that question is the fact that when they come to these seminars, they need to kind of like prepare and read up a lot on the information so that they can be able to ask you some very important questions, because the time is really limited as far as in your seminars. And there may be a lot of people out there, and there's no question is a dumb question.
Right, right.
So preparing yourself for these seminars is a key thing. So by watching what you're saying today, a lot of these parents and students need to read up on exactly what it takes and what to come when they come to your seminar, what to ask.
Okay. So coming from that angle, honestly, they don't necessarily need to read anything, because so much of the content of what I do takes in consideration that person who may be starting from scratch, as well as some who may have more advanced knowledge. So they don't necessarily have to make any preparations to come, but as I present information, they can kind of ask questions based upon, the presentation that's been provided. That being said, though, if there was any type of preparation that I would say they could make, is just being able to sit with their student and identify some of the different things that young person may like. Don't nail them to anything right now, especially if they're like fifth, sixth grade. Sixth is when I start working with them. But if they say 5 different things, if it's something with electronics and something with game design and a brain surgeon and something else, I don't ask them to rule out any of those things. But yet, when we look at those 5 things that child may want to do, we then, would look at, okay, what is that student's grades? What are those students' grades? What, kind of academic performance or achievement have they had?
We're running short on time. If someone wants to get in contact with you, how would they get in contact with you?
Real quickly, they could get in touch with me through emailing me at encouraging1@live.com. They can also call my office number, which is 704-293-5699. Again, that number is 704-293-5699. And they can also go to Encouraging Words at Academic Consulting on Facebook as well, where all of the events are posted.
Thank you, Jamila, for coming on the show, and I look forward to coming back to you and also to come to some of your consulting seminar.
Okay, I hope to see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jamila Freelain, get out there and get involved and get some of that education knowledge that she has. Thank you for watching the show, and you be encouraged.